Thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same without wasting a single second of your time. Bada bing, bada boom, we go into the charts. Health, feeling a lot better now, finally getting over that COVID-19. But all right, so Bitcoin got a little continuation bounce to the upside and into a resistance level we had marked off for you well in advance, alongside a 236 idea still holding to the downside. What do I mean by that? Well, let's go take a look at the chart. Give me a second here. So we came back to this gap that we were talking about from up here possibly coming into, and we came into this gap a little bit and got a bit of a retrace down to here. From the live stream yesterday, we were also talking about a retrace, deeper retrace. We were saying actually possibly coming down to here to the 618 and bouncing, but it was in a bullish shallow retrace to the 382 and continued up to here. There was no patterns about it. You just need the math, you just need the liquidity. Don't need to draw any trend lines. It's very, very straightforward. Just like all these lines that we've had here since our drop down here. And talking about this with the impulse retrace idea here and the acceleration from the 236 on down to the 706. So the 706 got the bounce up to here, and we are now up at that 42,185. So let's go ahead and look at the liquidity. What is the liquidity? Well, people like to lock their trades into the charts without using a stop loss, and that they get burnt to a crisp by the market maker for not using that stop loss, and we get to see where those crispy characters are. So let's do it now. Okay, so first we're gonna go looking at the kind of immediate zone here. This one is going to show us what's in the chopping block right away. Looks like we could come right back up to that 42K region. Come grab some of these high leverage folks in orange. It's always building on both sides. It's always a rock and a hard place, but looks like it's going to the upside here. You see that 8 million up above at the 42,186 level. This is also the weekend, so it's low liquidity, so they're gobbling both sides. We watched it come down to here earlier today. We were watching the absorption idea down here. We were watching some sellers get absorbed here, like a bunch of Bitcoin getting sold off and gobbled up and bouncing back up in that idea, in that moment, back to the VWAP. So we bounced on down and came up from that value area low up to the VWAP, and now we're back at the VWAP again. Considering to go higher. So do we go up to this 42,329 region? It looks like that's the next step of progression over the weekend. We're going to likely close out bullish and get that bullish retrace with a possible bearish retest kiss to the upside. Let's go expand our vision to the 3-day here. We came down to grab this after grabbing some of the short liquidity. We can't see what's higher without going to the higher time frame, the weekly. Got some more 235 million up here at that 42,350 region. Building people quick to jump on the shorts. Not so sure about that. We also have a range high short idea up here at 497 million. Just a quick reminder, we do have some bullish news for some earnings stuff next week. You got Apple, Amazon, Meta, a lot of after close things, midweek reversal Thursday. So we could be seeing some sort of retrace on the indices as people try to position into a long, or it could just be a take out the gate run to the upside if they're expecting bullish news. I know Apple's going to release their Vision Pro, that kind of AR goggle thing, so maybe that will be something they have bullish news to report on. Who knows? So we did have some stuff for, this is my chart putting out to the group. So we have basically, yeah, going to the upside here, we have 469 million up at that 42,362 region. Looks like the chopping block to the upside. 43K is not too far away, so we could come up to that 43K group of shorts as well. People that didn't cash out down at that 38K hoping for a drop down to the 34K might be rudely awakened to a round trip back to their entry. Or if they're shorting down here, they're in pain right now. So going to the 3-month, we could come clear, bearishly retest all the way up to 44.7 and still could be a bearish retest up in here. We have some levels where that would still be the case. Even coming back to the halfway point of this impulse to the downside would still be technically a bearish retest kiss. And then also this curved line, which we'll get into later, is the cloud that's curved on the daily that we could be bearishly kissing to come back for that retrace as well. We've been talking about this for some time now. Rect Capital and X, if you want to read about the pre-halving retrace, we were talking about it before this happened. So yeah, coming back to the 6-month, let's go see what is the 6-month. Yeah, still got that 1.65 billion down at 34K. So at some point, do we see this kiss and then fade down to here? Not sold on pumps to 50, but I'm welcome to be coachable to that chart. So let's go ahead and see what's up. Hey, what's up, Steven? CNC, how you doing? So we're gonna go and take a look at the momentum. Let's go ahead and throw on our oscillators. Links in the description for more. Momentummaster.info, eh? Scroll down to the features, toggle all of them at your leisure. Trend cloud, baselines, stochastic array, and more. You got dynamic alerts to your phone to keep you plugged in for these little 6 time frames, oversold ideas. Working on this new little doodad here with this little diamond here at the bottom, trying to work out some stuff. We had the diamond up here before it paused too, so we're getting somewhere. We'll see. But yeah, also it's starting to show like traps being sprung, so we're gonna see how that plays out. So okay, so we're gonna go from the higher time frame here. We're talking about the 3-day, so let's go ahead and start our vision up here on the 3-day time frame. So the thing that we were talking about on the 3-day time frame since December 15th was this here, the cross down event of the baseline. What does that mean? Well, when these baselines cross and the price action closes beneath them, downside begins. And sure enough, we started to get that retrace. The last time we saw that was back here in April. We had a cross down event and they had a stop hunt and then took it 18% to the downside again in July, 18% to the downside. So we were saying this could happen again, and sure enough, history likes to repeat itself, and these cross down events are leading, hence why the baselines are your first sign of reversal, and they play out on all time frames. Which means, dun dun dun, when we go to the weekly here, you see this weekly cross down event, which is already locked in. So does this also spell disaster for Bitcoin, perhaps? Maybe we even get, all the way up to here, and then we start to pre-halving retrace. I don't know. I have no idea what the future holds, but if we do see a retrace, we can come back 20% to that super trend level down below, and I would not be surprised. So that cross down event of the weekly, the last time we had that was here. We did have some stop hunts, but eventually paused, and then we had the cross up again for weeks on end. So not as accurate a signal, and it's ultra delayed because it is on the weekly time frame, but something to take note of. If we go to back to the 3-day, We're going to look at the oscillator because we didn't look at the oscillator yet. Okay. We had the bearish divergence, suppression by the Williams, preventing the stochastic takeoff. Still could get a reset. We're at ambiguous levels with the money flow and the RSI at 50 on the 3-day. We came back to the cloud. We got this cloud kiss on the 3-day and got a refuel off that one level of the bearish trend-based fib level here at 39. We had it at 38,888 to be cheeky. And coming to the daily. Daily. All right, so the daily, having a cross up event of the daily. So we're getting an official cross up of the daily time frame. So the daily looking to potentially see a push up here. And how high do you go here? Do we get to the cloud and reject off the cloud? The cloud is not thick purple, so there's not so much sell-off happening, but you could come back to that and reject at that point. No one knows the future, but 6.2% away, this bearish super trend that needs to flip if we're going to remain bullish, and we still have a lot of hurdles to overcome to put in a higher high. A lot of defense here. This is some resistance level, working out some cool resistance stuff here. All right, so cross up event on the daily time frame. Let's go ahead and look at the oscillator. Oscillator also starting to take off here. Williams starting to look to cross up on you. You got the money flow above the RSI, suggestive of a little bit of fatigue, but you would get a little bit fatigued after a push up like that. And there wasn't really much volume to it. So surprisingly, on the daily time frame, there's not as much volume in that candle. There was a lot of accumulation going on. We bounced off this adaptive and got sucked up without turning into a green vector at all. Interesting. But if you go to the lower time frames, like the first, let's do the 22, my good old trusty 22-hour time frame. Okay, 22 also getting the cross up since back on Thursday. So this cross up event of the 22 was having you at hello, and you had some bullish divergence on the money flow as well. The Williams cross up rising sun there, and the money flow is beneath the RSI. This suggests, this disparity, which we go over a lot, suggests that this could come up to the RSI. The last time we talked about that was here when it was up above the RSI, and talked about it coming down to the RSI, and this is why we dropped even further down. So the money flow and the RSI are good to have as juxtaposed tools, which is why we put them overlaid like that. Okay, and on the 22-hour cloud is a little bit more progressive than the daily cloud, so it's coming down to meet that resistance point. So even if we get a stab up here on Monday, the week is a long way away. Maybe we come down, play around, and then go up first. Nothing goes straight up. Could wreck some longs on false move Monday. You close the week out strong, and then you dump it on Monday, and then come back and continue up on the week. So let's go ahead and go to the 12-hour. 12-hour cloud also coming to this resistance level. This was a key consolidation range with all these wick-wacky stop hunts. This was liquidity grabs, and so there's a lot of position traders that they're trying to avoid letting out at break even. They want them to dollar cost average and knock them out before going forward. The people that were long here, that if they're still holding, maybe they're considering not letting them out there. Same here. That's why we have a resistance level up here too. Okay. So if we go to the 12 hour from the 12 to the 6. Oh, we didn't look at the oscillator. Sorry about that. Boop, 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 boop. So the 12 hour also had that hidden bullish divergence here on the money flow. Not hidden, it was just regular bullish divergence from here to there. I don't know how it passed through the candle, but either way, we had that going on. And looking at the 12 hours getting gassed here, and we're starting to see this momentum of the Williams possibly push this 12 hour higher. This is when the stochastic RSI fails you and you look to the Williams for the extra boost of nitro into the tank. So when the gas is empty, you hit that nitro booster on your Williams, and then that's what shows you the way if this momentum is meant to continue. These are open in a very fortuitous manner, like a garden hose spraying water upward. So this could continue upward on the 12 hour as a suppression, momentum suppression way. We didn't even come back at all. This is a very bullish 2 6-hour green vectors here. So this is also happening on the 6 hour coming up. You're getting a little bit gassed on the Williams on the 6, but it could still hold this range for some time. You can go back and see how it does that. Here's an example in November. It held for a very long time, and we saw lots of upside from that 6 hour being gassed. So we could see a very much similar case. It doesn't mean it needs to retrace at all just because it's overbought. You would be getting these overbought signatures to your phone, and you'd be waiting for some sort of fatigue on the baselines to cash your chips in if you were in a long. You definitely wouldn't want to blindly short anything. You broke the bearish super trend on the 6 hour. You had the cross up event of the baselines on the 6, and you had 5 time frames oversold here, lock in on a 6 hour time frame. And that's the 6. Coming to the 4. 4 hour cloud, we talked about needing candles to close with conviction above it. Started to close above it. Are we going to get a cloud that continues in a manner like this to that 2 o'clock angle, and we don't come back to kiss it? Or are we going to come down and kiss the cloud before we make that push up to the resistance? We got a wick into this gap that we had here before we dropped down, but we haven't gone past that 50% level just yet. We're getting the first baseline and the adaptive not holding on the 4 hour here, so we could retrace back into some of the liquidity. If we look at the liquidity once again for that narrative, right now we could be coming to the 42K again, or even come upwards to 42,269 for that big spike of volume, but we could be coming back lower for that retrace thereafter. So 42 coming up to here again and then dropping. Maybe do you come up to here first? It's the low liquidity weekend. I expect them to hold it before the weekly close and then knock out both sides before they close it. If you're in from down here, you can set your stop into profit and rest easy, but I would not be entering in this hold the range zone. They're going to be looking to knock these guys in the immediate vicinity out. Should be enjoying the weekend with the family. So and you got some bearish that was playing out here. If we come back to the 4 hour, looks like it could continue. It doesn't need to necessarily reset completely. The money flow and the RSI is still looking strong and holding this range. Could continue higher, pushing this up. The MACD, leading MACD, still in a strong suit. Coming to the hourly. look at. So the hourly, here's where we get into the nitty gritty. You're getting some hidden bullish on the money flow. You would not see this on the RSI, but you are seeing, I guess you're getting it on the RSI too, but you're getting hidden bullish on the money flow here. Where do you see that? Right here. So from here to here, and from on the money flow from here to here, you're getting some hidden bullish, which is a continuation idea to come up to that region. We're talking about possibly coming to this idea, so in the immediate vicinity, seeing this get hit again a second time. Right now, the thing you have to watch out for is the cross down event of the hourly here. So how does this hourly play out? Earlier today we were watching this hold the super trend. We were wondering if it was going to come lower. We were watching this once again on a toss. We were seeing this 885 negative delta sell-off. So somebody was selling out of a position here. There's 379 Bitcoin and 885 sold off, and they absorbed that position. A whale sucked it up and came back up out of that, absorbing all of those sells. So some people were short in there, and they came up out of that in this hourly candle. So do they let those shorts out, or are they going to squeeze them up to here? My thoughts are they're going to come up to here a little bit and they absorb that seller. One thing you can do is this. We're going to go throw on a different template for some volume analysis here. So we came down into this area. This is today's. We still have some volume up in here. There was a large amount of Bitcoin bought in this region. We could come all the way down. So when they come to knock out the longs, 41,186 is the previous VWAP level. So if we come up to that level, 41,186, whoa, would take you to there. Like this. So do we close out strong and then false move Monday our way down to this level again? That is the question. I don't like really going of the higher time frames for Bitcoin, but Nasdaq surprisingly has clean charts even on the lower time frame because of so much volume. So if we go to the 15 though, this cloud is pretty clean. So far it's very clean here. You got a clean cloud here. We recaptured the cloud. This could be seeing a nice little push here to the upside. We saw that absorption once again of the whatchamacallit, cells down here. So you can see 245 sold, 132 sold, 101, 126, 181, 168, 117, 141, all at those bottom. And then whoop, they absorbed it all up and came back, said thanks. Nice limit passive order buy for me, and the whale absorbed it back above VWAP. Okay, so that was an absorbed hidden bullish divergence on the money flow in oscillator terms, hidden bullish. So they want to get people to think it's going to drop, and then they're going to probably squeeze it up to that 42.3-ish level. Yeah, 42.280 by the looks of it. Coming up to that 4.23. We're not going to put that steep idea out there just yet. But that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the broader markets and say what's up. How's everyone doing? Prehab, what's going on? Yo, 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 yo. total back to this like resistance level over here. Let's go see about that. We broke the bearish super trend for the 4 hour, so we're coming back to a potential bullish area. We came back off of that 786 of the bearish trend base fib after nearly getting to the 1. We couldn't even make it to the 1 level of the bearish super trend, so this is kind of bullish, wanting to come back and negate the entire impulse to the downside. If it comes all the way higher, you have this fair value gap at 1.7 trillion for a total market cap. We had that previous nuke that played out up here. From now on, I'm turning the history off so that it doesn't confuse people, but we did have this in the moment too. And yeah, if we look at the total 3, we have the nukes up here starting to come back down. We're coming back above this wicked area down here. We didn't negate the the bullish trend base fib 236 level. We wicked off that and came higher. Now we're at the trap door of the 706. Do we get above? Do we get permission granted access to the upside at the trap door? The market maker passcode entry or boop, boop, dump. So let's go ahead and take a look at how the alts are doing. Overall, you have something called Manta doing well, CFX, SATS, Aster, SLI up 1% in the last hour. If we go to the USDT dominance, we're talking about the USDT dominance getting a little bit of a retrace back down because we were seeing some bullish stuff for some time. We're talking about coming down a little bit and then possibly coming up to this. We broke the bullish super trend for this path to the upside on the 4 hour. When USDT dominance goes down, it's basically what Bitcoin's doing in the opposite direction, as you can see. So you can invert the chart to see it if it's confusing. USDT dominance goes up when Bitcoin goes down, and that's because they get kicked into USDT, causing it to rise. So if this wants to go up, then Bitcoin wants to go down. So if this continues to break this idea and go lower, then it means Bitcoin will continue higher. So far we broke the 6 hour cloud, and this could be a bearish retest of a ABC to the downside. What do I mean by ABC? A, B, C, like that. So we could be very well going lower on this idea. You do have the cross down event of the 6 hour starting to play. Do we come down to this level here? Let's go ahead and delete this impulse. The shallow retrace was very bullish, and then that was why we got that rocket ship takeoff from here. All right, so are we going to see a little bit of this continuation idea for USDT dominance to go lower or not? Bitcoin dominance, let's go ahead. Bitcoin dominance continuing its unabated rise to power here. Getting some false signals on the cross down, cross up, cross down of the 6 hour. We're back around this range area on the 6. If we go to the 12 hour, we're making a big W formation, but the dominance overall structure is kind of wick-wacky. Overall ugly structure here. You have a large gap up in this region from dropping down here that you could go back and retest a little bit. So you have something that you could come down to here. So So you could immediately come down to here and then go up to that. That could be something for Bitcoin dominance. So dominance dropping, allowing the alts to play ball. This is how you do your math on your alt rally stuff. If the dominance wants to drop and Bitcoin goes up, then the alts want to play ball. So if this looks like it's fatiguing and wants to come down a little bit, and the USDT dominance wants to continue or even just go sideways even slightly, then your total 3 could be continuing higher. You got this 12-hour time frame cross up event, and you got some stuff up in here that you could be coming back to. Okay, so you could be coming up to here for your alts, testing that bearish super trend 2.9% away for the total 3. All right, let's go to Dixie, shall we? Dixie's still just holding the range, just not really doing anything exciting, just in a holding pattern, you know, in this parallel channel, whack-whacking both sides of liquidity, just hitting all these things. It cleared the entire thing here. I'm gonna move this up to the range high. There you go. So a lot of these wicks, we're gonna just take that as the local area high. That was a significant point when we were back here, but not so significant anymore. Where would be another significant area now? Here. And that wick still significant, so we'll leave it. All right, so does the dollar start to come sweep up into this area? It's possible. You still have a gap down here that you haven't come back to though, but this is a pretty bullish wick. Maybe they need to come back, come sweep up here a little bit and then come down to there. It's kind of tough to say. It'd be guessing with the dollar, no clear structure here. You did have those clear rocket ships which did take off though. Going to NQ. Okay, so the NQ, this is what I was looking at in the Discord. You had this 12-hour cross down event, and then you had a thin area here, a thin print. As it rose up here, there's a significantly less amount of volume here. So do you eventually come down to this gap and then come up here like this in the overall narrative? Do you get people to feel bearish tones or bullish tones and trick them all out before sending it? And then Thursday is the day where they all go boom. Maybe a lot of choppiness. Maybe they go up and down all around and then go eventually make it to that home run town up here, relative equal highs up there. But as of right now, looks like you want to retrace to lower prices here, stop out some of those free rides that they gave a free ride here to. So for now, any questions? I'm a new subscriber. What's up, S-Ways? This is a chart for Bitcoin. Yeah, we just had one. It was over here. We were talking about BTC just a moment ago. So we're talking about, I always wrap it up in a nutshell, but we're looking at the broader markets first. But yeah, basically in a nutshell, weekly candle close in a day's time. Watch out for sideways motion, low liquidity weekend, all that fun stuff. We have hidden bullish divergence on our oscillator here. We also confirmed that in the moment with actual contracts, no guesswork here. So the hidden bullish divergence was not just in our opinion. Wait, why is it not loading? Come on now. Sometimes it does that. Oh well, we'll have to fix it off stream. Sometimes a toss glitches out, but we went over it earlier. You can go back to it. Basically that there was some absorption of the sellers here there was a large amount of sellers that sold and they absorbed them. So if there's somebody shorting here, they are trapped and they could go squeeze those guys out for the liquidity that's resting up here at 42,258. And yeah, overall you got to watch out to the retrace on the larger picture to the downside, pre-having retrace and all that fun stuff. But you know, for the interim, we could be bullish all the way up to 45k, and it would still be a bearish retest in my mind. So we still could come all the way up to 45k and then dump all the way down to 34 and below. Who knows? But we just need to look at one level and one moment at a time, because I'll be updating you Sunday morning soon anyway. So probably by Sunday morning we'll have some sort of push up to here, and then some maybe failure down to grab some of the other liquidity down here at 41.1. So, and then maybe close out the week strong up above this gap. Okay, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Anyone have any requests? Yeah, me too. I look at all the broader markets though, and I trade NASDAQ as well. So what's up? Any questions? No? Give you a couple more minutes, or seconds rather. That was pretty easy. So we go into the 5 minute. Let's go see what the 5 minutes up to. Let's go into the degen mode of the weekend. So as of this moment in time on the 5 second, you can use this Momentum Master in a scalper's dream fashion as well. I'm just not in the mood to do that at this time, but used to be in that mindset. You could take these cross ups on the 5 minute and then see them to their fruition if you're so inclined. As it stands right now, you're breaking this 5 minute cloud, but you're getting a lot of stop hunts with these arrows here, suggesting it's not struggling trying to stop out the shorts, but you're getting bought back at this resistance level. So it looks like you're about to get this catapult between this support and resistance idea to go up to here. Holding the super trend on the 5 minute, you're at the precipice for launch, and we're probably going to go up to that level as we go off of stream. You're getting the cross up event of the baselines on the 5 minute here. This is what this DNA helix is all about. So you get the DNA helix of it crossing up right before your eyes, and then you see how the price closes above the cloud, above those baselines. See, this is what the baselines are about. They're the few leading moving average formulas you will find in the market. When price action rests on or above these and the baselines begin to cross, upside begins. Conversely, as the price action closes beneath these and begin to cross, downside begins. Well, this boom, and as ask and ye shall receive. So the baseline cross event, you can get that alert to your phone. And you don't need me, you don't need anyone. You just need the proper tools on your side, giving you the proper insights. And seeing the super trend hold, that's what it's all about. That is the Momentum Master Trinity. I can't explain it better than my own video short about it, so I'm gonna just play that Momentum Master Trinity and come back.
What is the Momentum Master Trinity? First up is the baselines. Your first sign of reversal. When these cross up with price above them, upside begins. Second is the super trend. Simply put, the trend is your friend until the end. When you have the super trend on your side, continuation is probable. Lastly is the trend cloud. This volume-weighted formula displays the amount of volume in the asset. Remember, when the cloud thins, a potential expansion or reversal is in. Don't fall for the traps of the market makers and the upselling gurus and snake oil salesmen with their outdated strategies and mentorships that are all publicly available. Be your own guru.
Thank you. And that's why you can be your own guru, because it just likes to do what that does. And so you have this cross-up event. Does it continue higher? I say it does. The liquidity says check. The math says check. Okay, all systems go. Now we just see if it goes to the upside. Now you need to protect yourself at all times and do your own due diligence before entering any trade. This is all entertainment purposes only. But this is the New York time frame, and this is about 11 o'clock, and it's the weekend. If this was like a weekday, I could claim that I did it, but it's just the algo doing its thing at the algorithmic time. This would be where you would normally try to find a play anyway, whether you're watching me or not. And the 15-minute cloud is on your side too. You got the one resistance level of the super trend on the 15 to flip, so those would be your confirmation events. You got the hourly cross down event. These are things that are not in your favor. So this hourly baseline not in your favor. Did you negate? You're holding the baseline here though, so you're getting some sign of life back after previously dumping below. We watched that absorption off the stream. We showed you that before Atas locked up on us. And can we open it? It just won't open, will it? Show all windows, please. There we go. Why does it not? Was it because it was expanded? Weird. Sometimes it does that. So anyway, yeah, we saw that. You can go back to that earlier where we showed all the Bitcoin that was absorbed in here. So if there were shorts that opened up in there, they're trapped and underwater. One other free tool you can use is here, ML applications, liquidation levels. Set your threshold to 0.1 for every $100,000 trader. You can go into the moment here, go into the 5-minute time frame, and then you can see deep into the perpetual API data and see all those 100xers that got stopped out here. Stop.
Fatality.
And you have some 100xers down here that think they're safe too, but once they clear these 100x shorts, they may come back and get those 100xers, or they could cascade up to the 50x shorts up here. You can look at each trader and what their position is. Look at that, $560,000 up here at 41.97. There's a bunch of shorts up here. Thinking they're safe. They don't see the cross-up event of the baseline coming for them. Dun dun dun.
Algorithm attack.
So, yes, sorry. So we got the super trend on our side. So far so good. Do we come up to these 100xers? You can see them close out live too. So who has more? It's a tug of war. Who has more liquidity on one side? Whoever has the most liquidity loses. They have the most liquidity stacked up here too. They got prematurely knocked out, so they are gone. It's just these guys versus these guys. So I am voting for all of these guys to go home empty-handed, and they will go up to these guys and grab their liquidity. That's the 3 pillars of trading, folks: liquidity, math, and momentum in a nutshell. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So enjoy off the stream, and We'll see where it is tomorrow. We'll catch you on the flip side tomorrow. So thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment, of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same, bringing the fire, the accuracy, the precision, all that fun stuff, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.